What's up guys, Card Protagonist here, and today I'm gonna do a deck profile on the Ancient World Wild Dragon deck. As you guys know, New World Chaos has given Ancient World so many good cards. So one of my favorite decks, which is the Sylvania Blood Dragon deck, has gotten an upgrade as well. So today I'll be doing a deck profile on my personal favorite Ancient World monster, which is Sylvania. And this is one of the most unique monsters in Ancient World because first off, it has so much synergy with the deck overall, and secondly, it just looks so cool, and personally I really like playing a center base deck. So what does Sylvania do? Basically, she has a very unique ability giving you the ability to lifesteal. Her counter ability is choose a card from a drop zone and discard a wild dragon from your hand. If you do, put the card into the soul, deal 1 damage to your opponent and gain 1 life. You may only activate this once per turn. Alright, the thing is, Wild Dragons are really good at gaining advantage through discarding. Wild Dragons is really unique because it is one of those archetypes that has monsters which has discarded for synergy. For example, these guys, when discarded, you can draw cards, and when this guy is discarded, you can gain gauge. This deck is so much fun to play with, and there's so many awesome cards right now that give you even more sick combos. So yeah, let's get on to the deck profile. So first off, I play 4 copies of Blood Dragon Sylvania. She is basically the MVP of the deck. She is really tanky because she basically is able to regenerate her soul every single turn, during your turn and your opponent's turn, so therefore she really stay on the field for a really long time. So card costs 2 gauge. Her counter ability, as previously mentioned, choose a card from your drop zone and discard a card from your hand. If you do, put it into the soul. So basically you'll be able to replenish your soul whenever your opponent attacks and just build up soul in general. And of course, in combined with new cards such as the new impact, your soul will be everlasting because not only do you have to beat through your soul will keep on generating, and there's so much advantage because of the Wild Dragon engine we have. She also has double attack, which means she's able to beat down your opponents well. So yeah, she's one of the best Wild Dragons we have right now, and with combined with the new cards, she's amazing. I'll be showing you some of the combos you can play later on in the video. Alright, so 4 copies of our buddy monster, Sylvania. Next up are the secondary size tree, which is Ladis the Chaos. This card is really famous in the Chaos deck right now because its ability to nullify spells. Why this card is so good is because its ability to discard card to nullify destruction, which is really advantageous in this deck. When this card will be destroyed, you can discard a monster card from your hand. If you do, it stays on the field. So discarding this, you can draw an extra card, so it never leaves the field. It's so damn good. Alright, second ability is counter. When your opponent were to cast a spell, like Green Dragon Shields or any important spell in meta, you can discard 1 card on hand and pay 2 gauge if you do nullify the spell opponent casts. So it's so damn good because spells are really important in Buddyfight, and nullifying spells is so big in the game right now. So Ladis the Chaos is a really good backup, especially if you're playing against loop deck or spell heavy decks. So I play 4 copies of Ladis the Chaos because it's able to tank until your boss monster arrives in your hand, then you can just call over it because it doesn't have lifelink as well. In this deck, we do play some size 0 to assist in the beatdown. First size 0 to play is 4 copies of Blood Dragon Follower. So she is basically the follower of the queen. When this card attacks and deal damage to your opponent, deal 1 damage to your opponent and gain 1 life. So basically, if your attack hits, you get to life steal 1. And what makes it really good is its a second ability. When this card is discarded from your hand and you have a size 3 Wild Dragon on the field, you can call this from your drop zone. So for example, you have her on the field. I highly recommend you to discard this card during your turn because what I like to do is, let's say I already have her on the field. I wait to use her ability after the battle phase. So let's say I have like another one in hand. I would most likely use attack. Then I'll use the ability to put cards into the soul and discard this, so I can call for extra attack, a sneak attack. Yeah, that's something cool I like to do sometimes. Yeah, so 4 copies of Follower. Follower is just pretty nice to have, and it basically fits the theme of the deck, which is the Vampire Dragons. Now this is one of my secret attacks of the deck, which is 2 copies of Misty Envy. Wow, 100 demon cards in the deck. Sick. Alright, so this card is freaking amazing in the deck because whenever you deal damage to your opponent, you can draw a card. That is sick. Okay, think about this. You have her on the field, you have it on the field. Your turn, you discard 1 card. Deal 1 damage to your opponent, gain 1 life, then you can draw 1 free card. Then after that, during your opponent's turn, you discard another card. Okay, you get 1 card, deal 1 damage, then draw another card. Just like that, you get instant +2. So it basically helps you ramp up hand advantage. A really good card, and I usually play 2 as attack because the followers will still be my main attackers. Playing 1 copy on the field is enough because it is a skill name, so you can only activate its ability once per turn. Even if you have 2 copies on the field, you can only draw it once. So yeah, be careful if you're playing it. Now let's go on to my favorite part of the deck, which is the Wild Dragon engine. You can play these Wild Dragons in any Wild Dragon deck because there are many different kinds of Wild Dragons, and as long as you have this engine, you're good to go. So the Wild Dragon engine consists of cards that, when discarded, gives you advantage. So first up, we play 4 copies of Lake Dragon Testaria. Testaria's effect is when this card discarded from your hand, you may pay 1 life to draw 1 free card, so making the discard cost free. Since this deck revolves around discarding cards from your hand, he makes all your costs free because it replaces itself at the cost of 1 life, which is easy because there's so many life gain in this deck. So 4 copies of it. Really good card. Next up is 4 copies of Jinju Long. Jinju Long is basically our Dragonic charge of the deck. When this card is discarded from your hand, you may pay on life with 2, charge 2 gauge. So basically, if you're discarding it for costs like Ladis or Vampire Dragon, you basically get a free Dragonic charge, which is nice. Because some of the spells do cost a bit of gauge to activate, such as Fair Skylines, which is a very excellent draw engine in the deck. So Jinju Long, 4 copies, great gauge accelerator when discarded. Now 4 copies of Amelia. So this is one of my favorite dragons in the engine because if you have a wild dragon on your field, discard this card from your hand and pay 1 gauge and 1 life. If you do, put up to 2 wild dragons other than Amelia from the drop zone into your hand. Really good because you always discard this into your drop zone for cost, and you basically with Amelia, you discard her and you get two of it back. So you can like discard her, advantage free, then you can Amelia, use it again, advantage free. This helps you with the never-ending loop of tankiness for your dragons. Really sick. This is a very MVP of deck. Must play 4. If you can play 5 or play 5. It is so damn good. So let us go on to the spells. 4 copies of Corrosion Paralysis. Corrosion Paralysis is very powerful in Ancient World because first of all, it gives all Ancient World an extra life. Put this card into the soul of a monster. When the monster on your card's field is being attacked, you gain 1 life. Really good because since your Ancient World monsters are usually in the center, once per turn when your opponent attacks, you gain 1 free life. Really important for Ancient World because there are a lot of life cost in the deck. And finally, if this card's in the soul of a monster, all monsters on your field cannot be shifted to other areas. It is really good against cards like Galos, which actually messes up your field. One combo I really like to do is I always like to keep a Corrosion Paralysis into a soul. So when my opponent attacks it, I gain 1 life and let the soul go. Before the next attack or when the next attack comes, you use a counter, discard this card. You can draw 1 card, put this back in the soul. When your opponent attacks 1 more time, you get another life. This is one way you should play this because when this card goes to drop zone and it goes and re-enters, the 1 per turn skill is resetted. So if you guys are playing this deck, be very careful and time your processes properly in order to get extra pluses. Wild Dragons not only have a great advantage engine, they also have great advantage spells such as Divine Dragon Creation, 4 copies. Pay 2 life to draw 2 cards, really instant, really easy to cast. And of course, Corrosion Paralysis actually makes the cost really easy to fulfill. So instant draw 2, plus 2, awesome. And 4 copies of Dragon Emperor Legends. Dragon Emperor Legends is an MVP in all Ancient World deck. Charge 1, gain 1 life and draw a card. So much advantage in a single card. Next up, my personal tech, 2 copies of Soaring Dragons, Fair Skylines. This card is so damn good in Wild Dragons. So its ability is cast cost, pay 2 gauge, draw 3 cards, then discard 2 cards from your hand. You may only cast this card once per turn. Why is this card good? It's because there's so much advantage when discarding Wild Dragons in your deck. So what I like to do is pay 2 gauge, draw 3 cards, and discard 2 cards. Usually I discard this 2. So when it's discarded, I can draw another 2 cards. Just like that, you're getting 5 extra cards in your hand. That is so much draw power in the deck. So after that, you can use this card and retrieve those 2 dragons discarded and then use them as card cost and add more cards to your hand. Yeah. So yeah, there's a lot of draw power in the deck. And it's really good. So 2 copies because you don't want to deck yourself out. You gotta limit your draw power sometimes in order to balance the deck. So yeah, 2 copies of Fair Skylines, a really good advantage engine. Now let's go into defensive spells. 4 copies of Dragon Wheel, really good card because first off you play a size 3 deck and basically it's a blue dragon shield for your Ancient World decks. Now if I attack and charge 1 gauge. And 2 copies of Rough Trigger. Rough Trigger is a really good tech because since the dragon is very tanky, Rough Trigger is a great card because it prevents your monsters from dying and it gives you a counter attack for the rest of the turn. So for example, you have one on the field with Paralysis in the soul. First attack, you gain 1 life, you cast this, it stays on the field, your opponent will attack it 1 more time. Yes, even though the monster dies, it will counterattack 1 more time. So it's really good, especially if your opponents are playing monsters that can be destroyed. You basically stop them in their tracks, or they will actually have to think twice before attacking because the counter attack is lingering on the monster. So it's a really nice card to play in the deck. 2 copies of Rough Trigger, or you could actually play other negates if you want to. But Rough Trigger is my choice because of how tanky Sylvania is. And finally, for the impacts, I play 4 copies of Unmatched in All Seas Birth of a Sheaf. I think this card is the MVP in all Ancient World right now because of how cheap it is and how powerful and how useful it is in Ancient World. Pay 1 gauge, choose a size 3 monster on your field and put a card from your soul and discard into the soul. So basically just like that, Sylvania gets 2 extra life, making it ultra tanky. And second ability is, if this card is in the size 3 monsters, abilities of the card cannot be nullified. So not afraid of deals nullifying like Oberons. Really good, so Sylvania will be able to happily swing and do her thing every single turn. So I hope you guys enjoyed my deck profile on the Ancient World Wild Dragon deck. And if you enjoyed this video, I really appreciate if you leave a like on this video and subscribe to my channel for more awesome Buddyfight decks. And if you're looking for Buddyfight decks and singles, be sure to check out www.buddy-mart.com. Links in the description box down below. So thanks for watching guys, peace out and love you guys. Rawr.